They are fantastic projects.
Second day at the Center of Excellence, President Buhari inaugurates more people-oriented projects. Praise to the expiration of old Naira notes, Nigerians call for extension.
Money again. So what are the thought of asking us to bring our old money?
Stamp duty saga. Central Bank employs 4 firms to clear cloud.
Accountability.
On the banks of River Benue to the swamps in the Delta, down to the commercial hub in the east, candidates sway for voters. Hello, a warm welcome to NTA Network News at 9, coming to you live from Lagos. I am Hinginu John Adams, and with me tonight is Iyenre John in Abuja. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has been given a pat on the back for not only keeping the electoral promises made to the people of Lagos State, but also sustaining the progressive politics envisioned and exemplified by the governing APC. President Muhammadu Buhari gave this impression after inaugurating 2 more landmark projects executed by the governor to conclude his 2-day state visit to the Center of Excellence. State House correspondent Adam Sambo has the details.
To be inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari on the second day of his visit to the Center of Excellence was the John Radley Center for Yoruba Culture and History. The groundbreaking cultural attraction was executed as part of an urban regeneration project at the heart of Lagos Island. Amongst other vital tourism facilities is a 1,000 square meter gallery which reveals to visitors the time-honored story of Yoruba ethnicity and culture from its origin through the present day to the future. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who guided the president on tour of the center, said apart from celebrating Yoruba heritage, it is also a place of remembrance and reconnection for the Yorubas from across the world. President Muhammadu Buhari also inaugurated the first phase of the Lagos Blue Rail Line. The public-private partnership project is the first metro rail system with a sea crossing in Africa and the first by a subnational in the world. The Blue Line, which is part of the Lagos Strategic Transport Master Plan, is a 27-kilometer route that will run from Marina to Okokomaiko when fully completed in the second phase, whose agreement was also signed at the inauguration ceremony.
Everybody now, Lagos is thriving. So this Blue Line really can play a pivotal role to realize our thriving life. Time is money. Efficiency is life.
The greater Lagos that will promise you, that will assure you if they did right, you can see it, you can feel it. It's not just a talk shop. This is a demonstration of powerful governance of APC government, and there's a whole lot more that will have in stock with you. That's why we said that with APC government, believe us, trust us, and we're on the right path to ensure that life becomes a lot more meaningful for you and for generation coming behind you.
The first phase corridor of the Blue Line services 5 stations, including the iconic Marina Station, the largest train hub in Africa, capable of processing over 28,000 passengers per hour. The Nigerian leader and his entourage, as well as some of the invited guests, took a test of the train service from Marina to the National Theatre at Igomu. He expressed optimism that posterity will be kind to the governor on account of such landmark projects delivered so far to the people of Lagos State.
They are fantastic projects. We had been referring to his predecessor, who is our presidential candidate, how he has the foresight to get the projects on paper, but then there was no resources, to execute them. he is lucky now, he's executing them, and what he has done in his 3 years are wonderful. The governor is campaigning for his second term, and therefore he's justifying all his projects in the first term. I think that has guaranteed his next term.
The president said both the federal and Lagos state governments have so much to be proud of, working hand in hand to achieve, and there is still much more ahead for them to collaborate on. From Lagos, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
We're not yet done with the president's visit. President Muhammadu Buhari says any state government that is committed to improving the lives of Nigerians through execution of developmental projects that target job and wealth creation will continue to receive the support of the federal government. The president was speaking at a special state banquet organized in his honor by Lagos State government during his 2-day working visit to the state. Lanre Bele reports.
State banquet was organized to honor President Muhammadu Buhari in appreciation of his commitment to projects that have direct impact on the people, as could be seen through this official visit to Lagos. President Muhammadu Buhari expressed the confidence that the projects will no doubt enhance the nation's socio-economic life significantly.
Being commissioned today, major effort without collaboration into the federal and Lagos state governments and the involvement of the private sector as well. The commitment to ambition, the full rotation of Nigeria's private sector should never be in doubt. Through various policies, legislation and executive orders, we have worked very hard to facilitate private enterprise in Nigeria. The result of this can be seen in the many thriving businesses across Lagos State, in manufacturing, oil and gas, creative industries, sciences, digital economy, and many, creating tens of thousands of jobs and economic opportunities for Nigerians.
The dinner also provided an opportunity for the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, to highlight what the unveiled projects stand to bring forth to Lagos State and the country at large.
Mr. President, let me also quickly summarize the journey in the last 3.5 years, almost 4 years now, have encapsulated in our team's agenda, and which have now culminated in those very significant projects, completions and commissioning that were witnessed. In transportation and associated road infrastructure are critical segments of our development agenda, and rightly so.
What we are doing today is just, like I say, a tip in the iceberg. Because, yes, the legacy deep sea port is unique because it's one project that had been on the drawing table for a very long time. But it was this administration that actually took the bull by the horn in 2019 and in record time made sure it was completed.
The president's visit, regarded as a festival of project inauguration, will linger as one visit with a difference. In Lagos, Larry Bilayi, NTA News.
The beauty and aquatic splendor of Lagos was on display at the inauguration of the Blue Rail Line in Marina. Joel Upola reports that dignitaries from different walks of life were part of the train ride from Marina to Igomu to have a feel of the train.
The excitement of the passengers led by President Muhammadu Buhari cannot be quantified, as the Blue Rail Line provided an opportunity to have a bird's eye view of the metropolitan nature of Lagos. For many residents, the excitement of watching the movement of the train from the ground level was visible.
This is something that we have been praying for in Lagos, and that is happening at our own time. Right here, we feel great about it. By the time this thing are going to full operation, you can see that it will move a massive population on train. So
For Lagos State government, the Blue Rail line is a dream come true.
This infrastructure is for you, it's about your life, it's about your family, it's about ensuring that Lagos can work for you.
Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed was optimistic that the project holds the key to resolving traffic congestion that Lagos is identified with.
With this mass transit system, Lagosians will now live in style of relief. Because the first phase of this blue line is capable of transporting 50,000 people a day, and a journey that would normally cost about 2 hours can now be reduced to 15-20 minutes. And I think you can see the impact of that on the economy and also on social and even on security. So it's a game changer in many respects.
Now that the Blue Rail line has come on steam, stakeholders say the status of Lagos as a mega city has been further cemented. Joel Bukwola, NTA News.
From the rail transport system now to culture. Beyond the inauguration of the John Randall Center for Yoruba Culture and History, key players are visualizing the potential inherent in reminiscing the rich tradition and culture of the Yoruba race for economic prosperity, while also hoping it will be a platform to reconnect Nigerians in diaspora to their original root. Michael Olale has the side attraction of the event.
This building standing tall is an embodiment of rich history, evolution, struggle and cultural transformation of the Yoruba race. Right from the staircase, there are different artworks, painting and musical instruments explicitly showcasing the beauty inherent in culture. For those familiar with the landscape, this initiative is a case of changing the act of swimming into culture because the John Randall Center formerly housed a public pool. This tradition, for years to come, has tremendous impacts on integrating and sustaining the existence of the Yoruba race beyond the trying period of going into extinction.
With this particular museum that we have here now, you can actually learn more about Yoruba culture. And if you know who you are, then you know where you are going.
We say a hope for the next generation that our children, we have to turn them back into our own culture. And
inauguration of the facility by President Buhari signals the beginning of huge opportunities.
It's so beautifully made, and Lagos is already a destination of tourism, and I think it's even more so with a place like this.
While the events lasted, Yoruba musical beats flowed from the state cultural troupe and the presence of the custodian of Yoruba culture, Oyo people, Obadiye Yemito Gunsi, added color.
It will showcase to the entire world that truly charity begins at home. It's more of a digital initiative.
Behind the beauty and cultural integration of this project is the reality that people of Yoruba extraction in diaspora can connect with the museum to trace their roots. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
That's it from here. Time now for our first break. The news will be back with Ian Ray in Abuja. But before then, do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates.
The 19th edition of the PMB Administration Scorecard Series will feature the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami. Date Thursday 26 January 2023. Time 10:30 a.m. Venue National Press Center, Media House, Abuja. The event will be broadcast live by NTA, FRCN and VON and streamed on the social media handles of the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. Announcer Mrs. Lydia Shehu Jafia, MNI, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Our country want better. Our country want better. Who go do one for us? Papa talk and move, Mama talk and move for a better Nigeria. Good life in car. Now you we want to. Now you we need. So people of Nigeria, they jolly for the better. We want shele for we country so. As they ready
to vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as the next president of Nigeria. Our people don't look the matter well. Only Bola Tinubu don't do what everybody fit see. Na him get the experience wey go fit use take make our country better, make life sweet for we and our pikin dem. Bola Tinubu don gather better plan to chase down war for we youth, better school, the security of lives and property, unity and peace for all we country people of Nigeria. But these and many other better things wey im don vocalize, e good make we all vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu for president of Nigeria. Vote Kashim Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party wey show room. Na you be
I'm about to serve better breakfast. If you're in Lagos, you need to see this.
I'm not just streaming content, I'm just speaking traffic.
Get more data to enjoy exclusive content. Dial *141# now. Airtel, the smartphone network. Nigeria is at the crossroads. Nigerians yearn for a rescuer, and the time to choose wisely is now. Who will save our fatherland? Who will rescue Nigeria? Only one man. He is battle ready, tested and trusted, capable and dependable. He is Atiku Abubakar. We call him the unifier. On a rescue mission, he is detribalized, uncompromised, and ready to make Nigeria great again. Atiku is coming together with Ifeanyi Okowa. This team is unbeatable. This is no time for sentiment. It's time for competence. Atiku is the best option for a brighter tomorrow. Let's vote Atiku for president come 2023. Vote PDP. Power to the people. This message is sponsored by Atiku Okowa Coalition State.
The chairman of the 50th anniversary celebrations of the Federal Government College Malali Kaduna Old Student Association, Mr. Abuja Imokwede, CON, specially invites alumni to the two-day event marking the golden anniversary of the school. The scheduled events are the 50th anniversary cocktail, date Friday 27th January 2023, time 6 p.m. Venue, Fountain Area, Transcorp Hilton, number 1 Aguirre Street, Maitama, Abuja. The cocktail provides a platform to meet, greet, and network with one another. And the 50th anniversary gala night, date Saturday 28th January 2023, venue International Conference Center, Garki, Abuja, time 5 p.m. The event will be streamed live with virtual participation. For inquiries, please contact the following. This event is strictly by invitation. Announcer, Steering Committee.
Just a moment. Hello? Sunday. Yes, ma'am. Come. 1,000 naira. Buy me Airtel recharge card. You have what I said. Thank you. Yeah. Sunday don't finish me. I say 1,000 naira recharge card. You carry 8,000 naira of my money. Go load them. Because money dey your hand, abi? As I load the 1,000, I use Airtel Ovajara, turn them to 8,000 naira, just like that.
8 times the value of any recharge, plus double data and 1,000 naira activation bonus when you buy a new SIM.
Sunday, go buy us. Okay. And make sure say they put Ovajara for you.
The smartphone network.
Welcome to Abuja. Done with the visit to Lagos, President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived at Dakar, the Republic of Senegal, ahead of the second edition of Dakar International Conference on Agriculture. State House correspondent to the Musambo reports that the president was received on arrival by a high-powered Senegalese government delegation led by the Minister of Justice, Sidiki Kaba. Also at the airport were Nigeria's ambassador to Senegal, ministers of foreign affairs, agriculture and rural development, national security advisor, director general, National Intelligence Agency and other senior government officials. The high-level summit convened by the government of Senegal and the African Development Bank seeks to create favorable conditions towards achieving food security with Africa
accounting for a third of the 820 million hungry people in the world. The summit, with the theme Feeding Africa, Food Sovereignty and Resilience, is expected to make commitments on eradicating hunger on the continent by 2030. Now, heading to the National Assembly, the Senate has urged the Central Bank of Nigeria to extend the deadline for the use of the old Naira notes from January 31st to 31st of July 2023. It also advised the Apex Bank to establish a special exchange window for those who do not have bank accounts. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
On the 28th of December 2023, Senate called on the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria to extend the deadline for the use of old Naira notes and increase the withdrawal limit. But the Central Bank shifted grounds on withdrawal limit, but stood ground on deadline. The matter has again resonated on the Senate floor a second time through a motion by Senator Sadiq Umar, which highlighted the challenges being faced by some Nigerians in trying to exchange the old Naira notes with the new ones in a bid to beat the deadline.
The banks, ATMs that should be dispensing new notes are still dispensing only the old notes. The problem is with the smallholder, with our small traders, and they may be the only person opposing it. Change is always difficult in every situation. Nigerians have the culture, especially in the rural areas, of not banking their money.
The CBN will go back to the drawing board, look at the hues and cries of the most ordinary Nigerians who had made so much effort to earn lawfully and legally their money. We need extension for the most ordinary Nigerians, actually.
35 of the 44 constitutional amendment bills that left the National Assembly for the State Houses of Assembly on the 27th of March 2022 have returned. But the bill on local government autonomy is among the 9 that did not get a return ticket. Its journey terminated at the state assemblies. The alteration bills were returned by 27 out of 36 state houses of assembly.
Urge the following state houses of assembly that are yet to forward their resolution on the bills to do so in fulfillment of their constitutionally imposed legislative obligation to the Constitution amendment process.
The National Assembly had done its work. Now, in the State House of Assembly, those particular amendments that many Nigerians feel are so critical and crucial have not passed.
Senate has confirmed the appointment of 7 nominees as members of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission for a second and final term of 4 years. Senate received presidential request for the confirmation of 5 nominees for appointment as members of the Code of Conduct Bureau, 2 for INEC resident electoral commissioners, with retired Inspector General of Police Solomon Arase as chairman of Police Service Commission. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, in the Green Chamber, President Muhammadu Buhari has been urged to intervene in the implementation of the cashless policy and currency swap following the insistence of the Central Bank of Nigeria to continue despite the tight deadline. National Assembly correspondent Lamiale reports that the call came when the issue was raised during plenary by Representative Sada Suli as a matter of urgent importance.
The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, at its Monetary Policy Committee meeting, resolves to stick to the January 31st deadline for currency swap. This prompted the House of Representatives asked the plenary to make a last-ditch effort to have an extension, calling for the presidential intervention on the matter.
Right over, the currencies are not forced out of circulation, they are phased out of circulation. The bulk Nigerian economy is driven by SME and petty traders. Therefore, there is need for some review of the policy. Let's move it back to 6 months. That we should gradually
phase out in 6 months.
The lawmakers also set up an ad hoc committee chaired by the House leader to hold separate meetings with heads of commercial banks and the CBN as it seeks the truth on the availability of the redesigned currency following complaints from the public.
Only 1 million naira was given to people in Kirawa to swap, where they have more than 100 million naira.
It looks like this might have been a policy where the cart was put before the horse. Certain things should have been in place before the policy was rolled out, as good as the policy is.
The Speaker urges the CBN not to see the review of the cashless policy as a failure of judgments. Other features as plenary include the adoption of motions on the need to complete Ivo Dam in Ebonyi State and the rehabilitation of roads in Ngaski, Shanga, Yawuri Federal Constituency of Kebbi State, a bill to amend Fiscal Responsibility Act sponsored by Representative Sergio Zogo, and the bill to establish Federal College of Agriculture, Ukanafu, Akwa Ibom State, sponsored by Representative Uime Idem, passed second reading. 7 bills were read for the third time and passed, while 4 passed first reading. Among them is a bill making the establishment of Traditional Complementary and Alternative Medicine Council of Nigeria. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Still on the redesigned Naira notes, following the Central Bank of Nigeria's directive on 31st January for the deadline for circulation of the old Naira notes, Ruth Aguele compiles reports from across the states on compliance of banks to phase out the old Naira notes before the deadline.
Barely 6 days to go, the old Naira note will cease to be in circulation following the directive of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Although some Nigerians are still apprehensive over the deadline, just as the Central Bank of Nigeria continues the sensitization campaign across the country. In Damaturu, Adam Yusuf reports that the Apex Bank embarked on physical exchange of old Naira notes with the newly redesigned Naira notes across rural areas in the state, using emirs' palaces to lead the campaign.
These are rural population. They are small holders of money, and that is why we are asking them to directly swap their small amounts, through the agents and the help of the staff of the banking system.
In Kano, a major commercial nerve center in the country, few automated teller machines are dispensing the new Naira notes, while the old notes are still very much in circulation. Haruna Mohammed reports that the Apex Bank has deployed its personnel to the hinterland to ensure availability of the redesigned currency.
My old Naira note and come out to just get the new Naira note from ATM. As you can see, I'm still on the queue before. So these are very good developments.
In Lokoja, Francis Udojo reports that most automated teller machines and point-of-sale service providers are still issuing the old Naira notes alongside the new Naira notes, and some customers are having difficulty accessing cash in some automated teller machines.
To have a new Naira note, we are not objecting to that, but the short-term period is what people are suffering it.
Residents of Port Harcourt are still apprehensive as the new Naira notes are being selectively disbursed to customers, as reported by Emmanuel Lene, who monitored the dispensing of the redesigned Naira notes in the state.
The one that we drew Saturday last week is still old one. I've never touched the new one. I can't imagine where you will send your old money. They want to give you old money again.
In Jalingo, the sensitization and enforcement exercise carried out by Central Bank of Nigeria in the state is yielding positive results, just as Godwin Inalago reports that traders and villagers have been rushing to banks to deposit their old Naira notes before the stipulated deadline. Adogbeji Ojegba, who visited some commercial banks in Ado-Ekiti, reports that the circulation of the newly designed Naira notes is still scarce across the state.
It's not so easy. Even if you enter inside the bank, hardly you can't even access the new one.
If you want to collect 100,000, they will give you old money, 50 new money.
In the Federal Capital Territory, Cecilia Julius reports that those in the grassroots, unfortunately, are yet to see or handle the redesigned Naira notes.
I personally have never seen the new currency. How they don't want us to know and see. When we were here, we never see the new money.
Joshua Ogunjide reports from Oshogbo that the situation is a bit different, as most automated teller machines of some commercial banks have been issuing redesigned Naira notes in line with the CBN's directive.
They have been compliant, have been withdrawing new notes for the past 1 week.
This is the first bank that I see in Oshogbo that dispensed the new notes.
It is hoped that the situation will improve before the stipulated deadline. Ruth Aguele, NTA News.
And still, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank, raised the policy rate by 100 basis points to 17.5% and retained all parameters. Governor of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele, while reading out the communique, addressed other burning financial issues. Leah Katung Babatunde completes the report.
It is the first meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee for the year, considered are the local and global fundamentals as well as their outlook. With a mandate of reining inflation, a December reduction to 21.34% from 21.47% recorded in November 2022 is a far cry from the stable target Nigeria set for herself. The MPC therefore voted to raise MPR to 17.5% and retain all other parameters.
This is because losing under a double-digit inflationary condition will be tantamount to an immediate reversal of the expected further downward trend in inflation. The committee also felt that loosening will negate the objective of dampening the pent-up aggregate demand that fueled the rise in inflation post-COVID-19 pandemic.
Governor Emefiele then advised Nigerians to take advantage of the window given by the Apex Bank to return their old notes, as the January 31 date for the end of the exercise remains. He also explained that the ways and advances given to the federal government is normal, considering the circumstances that put this administration, a double recession, a falling global crude oil prices that slashed income, coronavirus and geopolitical tensions. President Muhammadu Buhari is seeking to securitize the 23.7 trillion naira advance by the Central Bank of Nigeria in the last 10 years to the federal government.
We feel at CBN, because we are a lender of last resort, that it will be irresponsible for us to sit idle. It will be a dereliction in our responsibility and duty as a lender of last resort to ignore the government and allow the economy and our Nigerians to suffer.
Emefiele says the CBN will continue, like its counterparts in other countries, to support the government in running the economy positively. In Abuja, Vekatin Baba today, NTA News.
Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, says the bank has employed 4 renowned audit firms to investigate the stamp duty saga, as it has received details from all banks in the country on payments so far. He explained that the CBN wrote banks to begin collecting stamp duty in 2015 following litigation with claims of missing 89 trillion naira stamp duty. The CBN requested that the banks furnish it with details of all collections made to date.
Total stamp duty collected from 2016 to date in our record, and we the banks have signed on their headed paper how much they collected. Because this is public accounts, we owe Nigerians accountability. Is 370 billion 686 million 315,505 naira 28 kobo. Out of that, FIRS has disbursed through PAC 226 billion 451 million 720,158 naira 88 kobo. And the balance in the account in CBN is 144 billion 234 million 595,346 naira 40 kobo.
Emefiele, while fielding questions after the NPC meeting, said the explanation became necessary as it borders on public finance and transparency, and outcome of the audits will be made public. Away from the CBN now, but still looking at the economy, the Buhari Media Organization, BMO, has advised former President Olusegun Obasanjo to admit that President Muhammadu Buhari has done what he failed to do by diversifying the economy. In a statement signed by its chairman, Niyi Akinshiju, BMO said that the former president needs to be reminded that he did not build a resilient economy when he had the opportunity to do so. BMO notes that under President Buhari's watch, the non-oil sector is regularly contributing over 90% to GDP growth. Now time to have more business news, and Benny Adams is here. Benny.
Thank you, Yuri. Still talking the economy and CBN policies. Despite calls for extension, the Central Bank of Nigeria, at the end of its two-day monetary policy meeting, says there will be no extension of a deadline for the use of old currency, as the bank gave 100 days for the exchange in addition to extending banking hours, including operations on Saturday. This is in addition to deployment of 1.4 million active agents for cash exchanges in rural and riverine areas across the country, and promises more circulation of the new currency as the deadline approaches.
It is a process of increasing that we're producing, our mate is producing, and we are supplying to the banks, and so it will continue to circulate into the system.
And taking a look at the markets, Nigeria's equities market saw its first negative close this week as the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank sustains its tightening policy in 2023. Market decreased slightly by 0.09%. Investors lost 25 billion naira. At the end of trading, a total of 182.3 million shares in 3,470 deals, corresponding to a market value of 4.8 billion naira, traded. Compared with previous trading day Monday, today's data shows 27% improvement in volume, 172% improvement in turnover, but 15% decline in deals. Current market capitalization is 28.7 trillion naira. Gerigu Power recorded the highest volume of 23.8 million traded shares, followed by Access Holdings 17.3 million and Transcorp Nigeria 16.6 million. That is business news, but network news continues after this break.
Yes, I got a call from Blue. I want a 3-bedroom bungalow.
Yes, but I want a car. I won a generator by participating in the Festival of Joy promo by Glow.
Hey, you know, don't do this up for me. You know, to make it that baby sewing machine.
I won generator last year. This year I won for.
It's a celebration like no other, with prizes like no other. 20 new houses to be won, 24 brand new cars, 200 sewing machines, 100 generators, 1,000 rechargeable fans. Glow Festival of Joy promo. Dial star 611 hash now.
The Mission for Education, Social and Health MESH, a non-governmental organization of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, is urging all Muslim Ummah to take advantage of the 8-day extension of the collection of Permanent Voters Card (PVC) by the Independent Electoral Commission (INEC) to collect their cards at their wards and local government councils nationwide. The mission is also calling on all Muslim Ummah to ensure they fully participate in the elections, as it is their right to vote and be voted for. Know that your full participation will immensely contribute to the success of electing patriotic leaders that will pilot the affairs of our great nation, Nigeria. Get your PVC, vote wisely, and ensure a peaceful general elections. This message is from the Mission for Education, Social and Health, MESH.
Our country want better. Our country want better. Who go work for us?
Mama talk and move, Mama talk and move for a better Nigeria. Good life will come. Now you will want to. Now you will need oh.
Yes, so people of Nigeria, they jolly for the better than one shell for we country. So ready to put Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, the next president of Nigeria. Our people don't look the matter well. Only Bola Tinubu don't do what everybody can see. Now you get the experience. Where you go fit you stick make our country better, make life sweet for we and our them. Bola Tinubu don't gather better plan to chase down work for we youth, better school, the security of lives and property, unity and peace for all the country people of Nigeria. But these and many other better things where in don't vocalize. It could make we all vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu for president of Nigeria. Vote Kashif Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party where show groom. Now you need
a peak protein breakfast gets you to a great day. How do I know? Because my daddy goes to work feeling good and always with a smile. Mommy is always filled with confidence. My sister is always in tune. And for me, learning new things becomes absolutely fun. Because all day and every day, the peak goes.
Start your day with a peak protein breakfast. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Never again should this happen. We have passed through this path before, and it was not good for us. I remember the horror, the crime, the blood, dead bodies everywhere. I almost lost my mind. I could not sleep. I remember the cry of innocent children. Many lives were changed forever. We shall never go through that path again. Let us all stand in solidarity with our armed forces, our men and women. Oh, we must stand in truth, in honesty, to build a vibrant nation, a nation that you and I can be proud of.
Looking fresh for your kids? Get even fresher with Close Up. New Close Up Triple Fresh formula. It cleans deeply, 5.9% of bacteria, and cools intensely, keeping you protected and fresh.
Let's take a picture.
Still fresh, still protected. All day confidence to get close. You Close Up Triple Fresh formula.
Welcome back. Mafab Communications has rolled out the next generation wireless network technology, 5G, as the company launches its logo, signaling the dawn of a new era of infinite possibilities that the technology offers. Chimdima Ndubisi tells us more.
It's a new phase in the telecom industry, the fifth generation network, a spectrum that offers low latency, unequaled high-speed downloads and connectivity of machines and appliances at same time, real time. Nigeria is deepening 5G penetration across its terrain, moving from a tech consumer to one that advances and implements innovations. A new entrant into the industry, Mafab Communications, is at the center of it all. Established in 2020, Mafab Communications squared its horns in competition with telecom major players at the 5G spectrum licenses auctioning in 2021, emerging one of the winners. Mafab 5G network is now in 6 cities in Nigeria, with aggressive rollout plans to cover the entire country.
As a company, Mafab is fully committed to bringing the benefits of 5G technology to Nigeria. Nigeria through developing its brand new network to drive economic and business development with increased broadband capabilities nationwide. I cannot forget to mention the prospect of increased job opportunities.
There are so many technologies in artificial intelligence to help our security institutions. All of them leverage effectively on 5G. So this is in addition to economic benefits. The same in our education, in our health, and I do hope that with this effort of MAFAF of trying to increase 5G penetration in Nigeria, we will leverage on this to promote all other sectors.
MAFAB Communications, an indigenous telecommunications company, is the second to roll out 5G network service that can be deployed in 90 minutes, 3 times more efficient than the 4G, offering voice and data services. MAFAB also unveiled a brand new logo coined from the universal symbols of telecommunication network, connection, and first alphabet of the company's name. A test of MAFAB 5G shows speedy connectivity, low latency in video downloads with clean pictures. The organization, licensed by the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC), will leverage on existing telecom infrastructure to operate and provide local interconnect and international carrier services. In Abuja, Chimdima DBC, NTA News.
From ICT, we talk housing as the possibility of Nigerian workers to access low-cost and affordable houses remain in sight as the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, in partnership with organized labor, continues to make such houses accessible to the workforce. Joseph Woodson reports that not less than 260 civil servants in Yobe and Maiduguri benefited from houses constructed through collaboration as offtakes.
Nigeria is estimated to have a housing deficit of 28 million, with a workforce at a receiving end. With low income and huge responsibilities, not many workers can afford to build a house before retirement comes calling. This explains why the federal government intervention through the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and its partnership with organized labor made up of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Trade Union Congress, and the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association is being viewed by some workers as soft landing.
The opportunities for home ownership in our states.
With 100 housing units constructed in Sokoto State, 100 civil servants can now retire, not of the home to go to.
The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is delivering on its mandate and needs unqualified support from all stakeholders. By this endeavor, we're not only reducing the housing deficit in the country, we're also creating jobs and tackling unemployment.
And in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, 86 civil servants were allocated houses through same partnership.
Let me at this point appeal to the Managing Director and Chief Executive of the Federal Mortgage Bank, Madu Haman, to commit more resources to provide mass housing access to our civil servants in the state, who are prompt in paying their commitment.
Roads, water, electricity is already supplied, and the location is quite ideal for livable environment for workers who are contributors to the National Housing Fund.
One of my dreams is to see how workers will be able to have shelter over their heads.
National Affordable Housing Delivery Program for Nigerians may be providing decent accommodation. The pulse of these beneficiaries tell a lot of moral boasting. Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
Elsewhere, our Bank for Economic Development in Africa is embarking on integrated agricultural program in Borno State. Director General of the bank, Dr. Sidi Tar, announced this during a visit to Governor Babagana Umar Zulum and the Shehu of Borno, Abubakar Umar Gabai Alamin El Kanami in Maiduguri. Muhammad Gouni reports.
Relationship between the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa and Borno State government started when Governor Zulum visited the financial institution 2 years ago as part of his official engagement in Sudan. Thereafter, the bank sent a technical team to Borno to study areas of partnership with the pilot projects being implemented. Director General of the Arab Bank, Dr. Sidi Tar, who had met with President Muhammadu Buhari, said the visit to Borno State was to scale up intervention designed to be implemented between 3 to 5 years.
That program will cover all areas already defined by His Excellency the Executive Governor of Borno State. It's a state that lies within the Sub-Saharan Africa. And therefore, re-establishing peace in Borno State entails re-establishing peace in the Sub-Saharan region.
The Sudanese delegation also paid a visit on the Shehu of Borno, Abubakar ibn Umar Garba El Kanemi, where Governor Wagana Umar Azulum and the Director General Arab Bank, Dr. Sidi Ultra, briefed the royal father on the mission of the bank in the state.
The bank is supporting African countries in many areas, including infrastructure, education, health, agriculture, women and youth empowerment, micro and small medium enterprise support, as well as the development of capacities.
Shehu Abubakar ibn Umar Garba El Karemi, who noted the strides made by the Zulum administration in all spheres, expressed the need to prioritize resuscitation of the Lake Chad Basin and rural development to provide livelihoods to the citizenry and create jobs for the teeming youth across the state. The Arab Bank Director General also visited business billionaire and philanthropist Muhammad Indimi alongside Governor Bagana Umara, where he expressed readiness to ensure actualization of the partnership. Muhammad Indimi, who thanked the delegation for the visit, described Governor Zulum as the best governor, assuring to support the partnership with the Borno state government. The entourage also visited the mega vocational training center constructed by the state government as part of efforts to train youth in various skills, and farm center to inspect state-of-the-art agricultural equipment procured to enhance agricultural activities. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
Now talking politics, APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu has promised to reward people of the eastern part of the country with all-round development if elected in the February 25 election. Tinubu, at the presidential campaign rally in Umuahia, Abia State, said APC members in the region should remain united to be victorious in the elections. Newsball, Dan Wahab reports.
APC members and supporters made their presence felt at the Umuahia Township Stadium for the state rally. Through their state leaders, they commended the APC government at the center for demonstrating its commitment to the southeast region through several infrastructural projects, including the second Niger Bridge.
When we can get, when we allow ourselves to be part of this by voting for APC.
They crave for more, and Bola Tinubu promised that they can only be sure of that from the national government if they support his candidacy with votes. Ashiwaji urged Abia voters to be courageous as they make their decision at the polls.
We pray. We be focused. All we need to do is think properly and perform diligently. When we have a nation, follow the present way no they are great person. And what we know to restore the country, the economy, we will restore in split sector. Go, tell your parents that help is on the way.
Abia State has more than 2.1 million registered voters, and APC says it has earned popularity enough to move the state into the League of the Progressives. From Umuahia, Musbau and Wahab, NTA News.
Meanwhile, candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has expressed his appreciation to the people of Delta State for the overwhelming support he has always received from them in his political journey. The former vice president was addressing PDP supporters as his presidential campaign train reached the Stephen Keshi Stadium, Asaba, Delta State. Onutu Yakubu reports.
For PDP vice presidential candidate and his running mate, Governor of Delta State, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, this is concerned at home turf. The governor, like most of the party bigwigs, spoke in pidgin English. He said his principal going into the election has a vision for the positive transformation of the country.
Edo and Delta don't agree, so we must give Atiku and Okowa 1.5 million votes.
National Chairman Senator Yocha Ayu symbolically presented the party flag to governorship candidate Sheriff Francis and appreciated the people for trusting the party to provide purposeful governance in the state since 1999. Atiku Abubakar told his supporters that the actualization of his rescue and recovery mission is a sure way to get democratic dividends to the Niger Delta region.
In my policy document, as far as education is concerned, and the responsibility of the federal government is concerned, I said there shall be no more harmful strife.
He enjoined the people to take the message of PDP beyond the campaign grounds to ensure total victory for the party. From Asaba, Delta State, Onotu Yakubu, NTA.
Let's have a quick break. Please stay.
Good morning. Good morning. Why is your sun shining like this? Can't you see that Hamatan season is here? We need to protect our children from this dry weather. What about the invisible germs? Invisible germs? During Hamatan, it's not enough to only protect your skin. You also need protection from these invisible germs. To protect our families, we use Dettol.
Hamatan season brings a lot of germs, but Dettol with Germ Defense gives protection from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
My people, Emeka, make us come out. Let me get all this people. I don't learn my lesson. Somebody come buy motor for my hand, carry big money, come give me. Now when they get bust, when my eye open, I know to that 419 be. Now when EFCC bam, now they come back me too. Now he make me warn you, all of them when they do business like me, when they carry big money, when I go sometimes I go carry transfer, carry bring back. They could not shine in my eye because the special control unit against money laundering, what they call SCUMO, they don't want to say if the money pass 5 million naira for individual, no collect them. If it pass 10 million naira for company, no collect them. Can I go here? Bank. If you not do one like that, 250,000 naira for every day where this offense happen. Or they go suspend your license, or they go shut them down, for your hand. You talk say, I know one you.
This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission? Yes, but how? That's no question. How do you keep your toilet clean? I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years. The regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes.
To disinfect your toilet, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning.
Oh, no, I'm convinced, Kelly Paul. Really? Yeah. The next house is yours.
Efficiency and quality. National Center for Women Development. A home away from home. With our newly renovated rooms and conference facilities, the facility has standard, single, and double rooms. We are second to none in Abuja and uncomparable to none. We also have standby power source. Visit us today at the National Center for Women Development, Central District Area, opposite Central Bank of Nigeria Headquarters, Abuja, or telephone 070-511-1163, or visit our website www.ncwd.gov.ng. National Center.
The families of Amasoye, Bonabose of Abonama and Idegulu Granville of Akuku Toro local government area of River State have announced the death of Professor Charles Quarter Dokubo, aged 70. Burial arrangements signed on behalf of the families by Chief Samson Manuel indicates that on Friday, January 27th, the body departs Bainama Mortuary, Port Harcourt to Abonema by 1 p.m. and will be received by Council of Chiefs. And by 6 p.m., service of songs and Christian wake at St. Joseph's Catholic Church at Amasu Gate, Abonema. Saturday, 28th January 2023 by noon, funeral service at St. Joseph's Catholic Church, Abonema, and will be followed by interment at the deceased residence, Abonema. And that concludes the news tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.